Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Let's get it on!
Come into the ring, step into the fire, see what you want, baby. If your heart has desire, and get out, get knocked down. Deathmatch Russell Podcast, Deathmatch Russell Podcast, Deathmatch Russell Podcast.
Good evening, everyone, and you're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. And my guest at this time, the one and only Mr. Fantastic. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's a wonderful evening. Can't get just excited about tomorrow. We got Baltimore Celeb Fest.
Yes, we were just talking about that last night. A big event in Baltimore. Like a lot of celebrities going to be there as well, like wrestler wise, and just you never know who will show up, right? At these
well, yeah, I just saw last night they just added Scott Steiner on. I'm like, oh shoot, Scott Steiner's going to be there. We're going to get Steiner, man.
Oh God, like who? And Diamond Dallas Page of all people.
Yes, he's actually not only going to be on the convention, he's actually going to be a part of the show I'm up on later on. Adrenaline Championship Wrestling. We got our Chaos in Carroll County, a part of the Baltimore Celeb Fest. So it's going to be amazing.
That's, you know what, wrestling and convention. What goes wrong, right? Nothing. Like it's just fun.
I mean, like we've got the Horsemen, we've got Barry, we've got Rick, we've got Tully, Arn, Barry Windham, and
could you just think about it. Mr. Fantastic, just think about it. You're going to be in the room with the Nature Boy. You know, like it's like chilling. Like, you know what I mean? Like a legend.
Bro, I'm a huge Nature Boy fan. I work for a custom clothing company. I'm showing up in my best suit tomorrow.
Oh, style and profiling, as he would say.
Oh yeah, and I even heard that cross now. You know, if you want that autograph, that's gonna be an extra $250.
Yeah, they ain't too cheap these days. These autographs, some of these guys, you know, they want to suck you dry.
Well, no, I find out because I know a guy that he likes to go to all the conventions and stuff, and he's met Flair several times, and he's like, years ago, you meet these guys, you could just get the, you know, the Ric Flair, the autograph, but nowadays it's like, you know, if you want the 16-time world champion, that costs, or if you want the limousine riding, kiss flying, all that, that costs too, and if you want all those on your autograph, that's like, you know, several $100 just to get on the.
And do we have that kind of money? Do we?
No,
I don't. I don't.
I'm just hoping that I can just show up and just like, hey, you know, I'm a worker. Can we get a photo?
yeah. The old quick sneak peek photo bomb.
Oh yeah.
But growing up, man, like you know, as we're speaking of like Ric Flair, man, and we just lost a great person in wrestling as well, Lenny Poffo. You know, Leaping Lenny, man. What'd you think of that?
Just not Leaping Lenny. I mean, it's kind of hard. You know, I'm from the DMV area, and with the loss of Jay Briscoe,
I know
that was very hard. You know, I've got to meet his family, you know, at the Ring of Honor shows. They would bring half of Sussex County, but you know, I've got to meet Mom and Pa Briscoe, and I remember at the last like actual Ring of Honor show, you know, still under the Sinclair brand, you know, was hanging out with Mom Briscoe, with my boy Bam Williams. And you know, she was getting us tore up to the point that we passed out in front of Jimmy Seafood that night because they had like, you know, the after party.
Yeah.
But it was just, you know, that was hard. And then, to be honest, I was a huge Lanny Poffo fan. I know.
I think we all did. Like he was one of those guys that was just the way he gave those poems in the ring every time.
I was excited to meet him, but to hear that he passed, that was just real. That, you know, on top of, you know, Jay Briscoe passing, that was just extremely hard. I'm like, dang, you know, I was feeling bad, but then I get to meet the genius, and then he passed, and it's like.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? You had the experience and you got to meet him, and that's the best. You know, like the Briscoes as well. I got to see Jay Briscoe in Game Changer Wrestling's last match versus SAT in Atlantic City. So I was
that was
honored
awesome.
I was honored to see that, and because I've seen Jay wrestle the Briscoes SAT so many times, you know, up and down the East Coast and at Jersey All Pro Wrestling as well. You know, right there in Atlantic City, they had like an 8-man scramble match. It was like one of their top matches. Like he sliced his back open. Oh, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, you bringing back memories. You said JAPW. Oh man, that's old school right there. Boy.
That's yeah, I know. And I look back and I think about, like, you know, we had the Briscoes, and we had a young Drake Younger actually too, and then a Necro Butcher, and just he was going with the you know, because that's when I think Necro Butcher was going with the Viking War Party. You know,
yep,
the hooligans and, you know, all those guys. But yeah, to see Necro and Drake these days, but you know, that's a new dimension for that.
I'll say Necro's been like a mentor to me. You know, him and I travel up and down the road, and you know, I just love going to him for advice. You know, for a guy that everyone just knows synonymously with deathmatch wrestling, he has such a wealth of knowledge of professional wrestling that is unbelievable. I remember about almost a year ago, we were going down to Tennessee, and you know, we stopped off at Brad Cash's house, and we're just sitting in there watching old Mid-South wrestling. And he's just, you know, I think it was Bob Root versus Jess Barr, and me, you know, a technical wrestling aficionado. I'm just sitting there in awe, like, looking at the match, like, and he's like, dude, those guys were tearing up. You just, you know, you got to watch, you know, a lot of their stuff. And so I kind of went down the wormhole, just watching old classic Mid-South and continental wrestling out of Florida. Yeah. And it was just all because of him. And I'm like, you know, I got the Necro Butcher telling me about very good, you know, technical wrestling that I can follow up on. And he's, you know, a wealth of knowledge. And so is Drake Younger. And so is Drake Younger. Like, Drake is awesome. I got to talk to him up at XPW, and his wealth of knowledge and just his thought for the business is amazing.
Now, let me ask you this: going back to XPW days, the old days, what made you think of it like, oh my gosh, this is awesome? Then you get this call. Hey, I'm Rob Black. You know.
Well, okay, so yeah, it's so very interesting. You know, of course, after, you know, I'm a old school wrestling fan. I love that golden era, going into the new generation, and then DVDs, into the Attitude era.
Yes, the DVDs is what actually got us all, you know, going to Suncoast, and Rob said that on the podcast. You know,
well, for me, it was a little different. So, okay, so, you know, of course, after, you know, the close of WCW, we were kind of in a no man's land because all we had was WWE. So this is so funny. So I actually went to Amsterdam the first time in the late 2002, and on the way home, we had a layover in Heathrow to come back to Dulles in the DC area, and I'm done. Like, you know, before we left Amsterdam, I had so much pot that I couldn't smoke before I got on the plane. Still had a little mushrooms. So I tried to take as much as I could before it was time to leave. Yeah. So I did everything. We're now in Heathrow, and I'm on Moonbase 45. But as I'm sitting at, you know, waiting in our terminal to wait to get on a plane, I'm sitting like, this guy over here looks real familiar. Where do I know him from? Yeah. Then it hits, he used to be in ECW. So I walk up to the guy, I'm like, excuse me, sir, is your name Balls Mahoney? And he's like, yeah, man. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? He's like, oh, we were over here for this Frontier show. But I mean, hey, guy, if you like wrestling, there's a guy sitting next to me. His name's AJ Styles. Oh, shit. And I look over and I'm like, hey, AJ, how are you doing? And I look like, so Balls, tell me about ECW.
Yes. Yeah.
And so while we're talking, he's like, "Hey man, if you're a huge fan of wrestling right now, there's a renaissance in wrestling. You need to check out this company, Ring of Honor. They're doing stuff." So when I got home, I went to Suncoast, I went to Hollywood, and I'm looking for video DVDs. So I found the Era of Honor DVD, but then also I saw this thing XPW, Extreme Pro Wrestling. And I saw like St. Douglas and Sabu and New Jack. I'm like, I gotta get these, and they were cheap DVDs. So I got the DVDs.
They were like $10 a piece. Like I remember
Baptized in Blood and all those. And so I bought them. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are awesome. But on the same ticket, you know, as the internet started picking up, I find out they just moved to Philly, and they're putting on a show called Exit Sandman.
Yeah, how crazy!
And so I went.
Yeah.
So I went because, you know, I was a huge Shane Douglas fan and all that stuff. And that was going to my first XPW show after seeing all the DVDs. And I fell in love. Like I followed them up until like I was like, you know, after they went back to California to do the last 2 shows, and then they were gone.
Yeah, they disappeared. It just disappeared, and then
they came back. And now that I'm in the industry, it's like, oh my gosh, I've actually got to be able to. I did Theater Brutality, did you know, We Are Not Your Kind, and it was just you know, it was amazing.
No, and much more coming. A lot of stuff for you planned.
Yes. You know, we got Pleasures of the Flesh coming up, and you know, me, you know, I'm a hot commodity with a sexy body.
Yeah, I know. That's the duo. Yes, the duo of but everybody has to be there to witness that shit, because it's a great storyline we got going. But I mean,
don't worry, it's gonna get a lot more interesting.
I know, and I gotta start bringing. I brought the chicken the last time. We gotta think of things I can bring to the ring. You know, like we gotta think of things.
Oh, that chicken was awesome, but I see Piss Jug Mike out there. Hey, Piss Jug, we're gonna have a little fun with you, buddy.
If he comes back, we'll see.
Oh, he'll definitely come back.
Yeah, but I don't know. I found a Ninja Turtle blow up doll. I don't know. We'll have fun with that.
Hey,
I don't know.
Hey,
whatever. I'll find stupid shit. You know, stupid fun shit. That's it. Just have fun. It's like, you know, I gotta be the one of those guys that brings the props. You know, be like,
you know, a 4-foot rainbow colored dildo or something. Hey, you know.
Go to Spencer's for all that crap.
Okay, so I don't know if you saw, you know, hardcore XPW superstar, Hardcore Hillbilly. I love the guy, you know, and every time him and I get together, it's always something fun. So I was thinking, like, next time him and I start hanging out, I'm just gonna start recording this stuff. I want to, like, you know, I'm like, come on, Hillbilly, we're going to Hot Topic, or we're going to go to Spencer's. And go to the back of Spencer's. You know what the back of Spencer's is like.
Yes. The adult section. Yeah. Kind of like the adult section.
That, or like, I was thinking, like, you know, you've heard the great story of, you know, when he went out for to California, and Jasmine Sinclair took him to the fanciest restaurant he's ever been to, aka the Cheesecake Factory.
Yes.
I was like, come on, Hillbilly. I want to bring the Hardcore Hillbilly to DC, take him around his nation's capital, and then take him to Fogo de Chao and see how he responds.
Yeah.
A Brazilian steak restaurant where all you got to do is keep your green side of the peg up, and they keep bringing you grilled meats. I'm sure the Hillbilly would freaking go crazy.
He would. That's something. That'll happen. That'll have to happen.
Oh, I'm definitely going to have to. I'm going to have to get him up to our nation's capital and, you know, show him all the historical sites and take him to Fogo de Chao.
Oh,
I can just hear him now. They just kept bringing us food and food and food.
More food. It's like,
and all we had to do was keep the green peg on the side of the table.
And it's like when Robert Black on his podcast was like, "You're going to the gym."
I missed that. I'm so mad that I missed that, because I can just hear it now. 1 Cheesecake Factory, 2 Cheesecake Factory, 3 Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, I think we need Rob needs get us a little. Let's bring in some get some food in there, like real cheesecake. Like, I'm seriously, like, hook us up, you know.
A little catering in the back.
Yeah, a little catering in the XPW arena.
As long as they don't go to the Peking buffet, because I hear their fries fucking suck.
They're really salty, from what I heard.
And you know what's so funny about that? Yeah. All right, so I was making jokes the whole night. I was like, so I wonder who went out to Xandix dinner.
Yeah,
I was like, I wonder who went out to Xandix dinner with the meatloaf and mashed potatoes and corn and stuff. And
I'm just watching it.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Slack's like not saying a word. No. The next thing you know, at like less than 5 minutes after I said that, I see a picture of Slack sitting there holding the fries in front of Xandix's face. And I look over at him and I'm like, so how was them fries? And he goes, they fucking suck.
They did. Oh. Uh-oh. You're there. Oh, just
I'm here.
Yep, just lag. That's okay.
Oh yeah. But I was like, he's like, the fire suckers. I'm like, oh.
But then you look over. But then you look to your left or the right side of the table. There's kids right there. Like a whole family eating dinner. Oh.
Yes. Did you see the one picture when like the mom's holding her child when Slack's walking out? So it was we tried to take our family out tonight to eat, but some madman walked in there talking about Drew Danzig.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that was crazy. It went viral really quick. It was great. It was one of those things that needed to be, out there, and just need that little glimpses, just a little something out there just to get people laughing, and for the rest of the world. But yeah, going back to like the XPW, man, and you're thinking about it and you're looking like, wait a minute, this guy Rob Black, wait a minute, he used to do porn, didn't he? Like he didn't realize, like crazy, right? Like he did a whole bunch of stuff.
I know what he did. I know what he did. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, hell, there's a whole dark side of the ring about this guy. Okay?
That's how we learned. Yeah, that's how we really got more about his lifestyle.
Well, already beforehand, I mean, the story of XPW and wrestling is not. I mean, if you've been a fan of the business.
Yeah,
through the whole business for the last 20 years, you at least know some piece of that story. Whether you know about Messiah or you just know about the stuff that happened in Philly, something. You've heard something. But at the end of the day, this is a company that started out as an Indy in California, and eventually, I mean, think about it. We all know about, some people even know about the whole Living Dangerously, within the last year of ECW, they did a show in California. They did somewhat of an invasion angle. But within a year, guess what? They had New Jack, Shane Douglas, Candido, Sonny, Sabu. Some of the guys that, within the last year probably were kicking them out, working for them.
Yeah, Scott Snot and people like you never know.
They even had a young R-Truth on their program. So I think, matter of fact, their last show in California before they went to Philly, they did have R-Truth on the show in the tag match.
Yeah, man, R-Truth, man, he would have fit pretty good right now. he still would, he still would. But yeah, going back and seeing the old footage and just reliving it, but now we see it in the flesh, and it's, my God, it's real deal. It's fun. We love it.
I love XPW. I'm having so much more fun in the business. It's just, it's like being a part of a show, but also being excited as a fan for that show. I'm excited to find out who Necro Butcher's tag team partner is against Slack and Messiah.
Yeah.
And it's not like I can pick up the phone and call him and say, hey, bro, who's going to be your tag team partner? I don't want to know. I want to be excited and surprised myself.
Are you going to fly out to California? Going to go out?
I'm still debating on that.
I know.
Waiting to hear back because we've got some things planned.
I know.
But, I don't want to rush them. I just want, yes, I do want to be on the California shows. But if I have to earn it, I'll be there then too.
Yeah, but of course you'll be at March 1.
Of course, I will be at March 25th. Yes, I will definitely be there.
Yes, I will. We shall be there. That's our home base. It's easy for us to get to. It really is. People.
Yeah, Newark is not that far from me. Newark's like 4 hours.
Yeah, but no, to the local. I mean, like you think about it, Newark. You think about wrestling in the East Coast. Like really, it's invaded by wrestling, as they say, and it is. But to have our company, our company, really, I'm going to say, yeah, because I'm a part of it.
Our
actually.
companies.
Our company. Sorry, Rob, I'm not getting paid money, but I'm advertising, but podcasting. I get a lot of cool stuff. But it's fun to help out and like get it to push where we need to be, because we're one of those companies that needs it. We need the new crowds, the new, the ideas, just the way to make wrestling pick up,
And we have. I mean, I'm not. And it is funny, I'm not a wrestler.
No, you're not.
It's not my cup of tea.
No.
But I'm a huge fan of it. So, I stay within business. I like to try to be like that Tony Deppen, that, Tajiri. Yes, I'll work within the company that present it, but I also can bring to their companies, that regular wrestling that rounds out the card.
Yeah.
But I just I love this facet of our business. It's just amazing.
It is. And if you go back to your career of starting out, what made you get into wrestling? Back as going back, what got you into it as a kid? Like, who are your favorites growing up?
Wow, growing up in my favorites, I will say this: growing up in the DC area, we were kind of very fortunate in that we weren't too south and we weren't too north. So for a lot, like depending on, I grew up in the time and days when your TVs had dials, and yes, I am old. But on those odd channels like 45 or 54, sometimes we would get Eastern Championship Wrestling or World Class or Smoky Mountain. Growing up, I remember we had, like, on Friday nights, we had NWA Main Event, and then, Saturday mornings, Superstars, and, just different wrestling. So I was just always a fan of the business. And it just wasn't like, I was a fan of WWF. No, I was a fan of WWF, NWA, Smokey, World Class. And just throughout life, I just stayed a fan. I wasn't one of those type of people that, a lot of people like, I was a fan when Hulk Hogan and Iron Sheik, or I was a fan when Austin, like, I stuck through it. From the golden days of the 80s, the Hulkamania days, to the new generation where you had Duke the Drumster Josie and all these other weird gimmicks.
Yeah.
To the Attitude Era, to the new, the ruthless aggression. I just stayed a fan. Like, I don't, like, I remember what you want to call certain eras, but I've just always been a fan. And so, whether it was good, bad, or cool to be a wrestling fan, I just stuck through it. And
what was your favorite like show, going to your first show, like going to your first event, WWE or whatever, or any kind of
so my first events were actually NWA events. They used to come to the DC Armory years ago, and I just remember they were always smoke filled, and as kids we would all hang out like near the entrance apron, because that's where all the wrestlers come out. They'd take your fans, or sometimes that's when they, during break, they would come out during that little area to go get something to eat or something, and you would get your chances to talk to them.
Yeah.
But then, the WWF would come to town every now and then. So, that was like the bigger shows I get to go to, because it was always rare. But, I remember NWA almost kind of, at least every other month having a show at the DC Armory.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, TNA really, people really like TNA Orlando. Yeah, we couldn't always go to Orlando, but they were giving like tickets away for free if you had a.
Oh, yeah. Down at the old Soundstage 5.
Realize that? I was like, holy cow, man. Every time we were in Orlando, like on a trip for visiting family or something, like a vacation, it's like, man, we could have gone to Universal and gone in there for free. No,
it's funny that you bring that up. A buddy of mine was like, him and his family went down to Universal Studios, and they were just, going to the park, and like when they went back to the hotel, they ended up getting free wrestling tickets. And then meeting like Kazarian and Christopher Daniels and like they weren't even looking for a wrestling show.
Yeah.
But ended up getting tickets to TNA.
Yeah, TNA, and then they just Wi-Fi. Oh, you're good.
I'm here.
Yep. Just Wi-Fi's cutting out. That's all right. Probably that storm or that missile or that balloon.
Oh, shut it down.
Yeah, they had to shut
They
it
finally
down.
shot it down
Kind of stupid.
over the Carolinas.
But let me say
Don't
this.
you think that? Don't you think that was kind of funny? It's 2023 and there's a balloon floating over the United States of America.
Yeah,
this is weird. Like something you hear back in the 50s or 60s. Hey, the Chinese done sent a balloon.
Yeah,
it's 2023.
Balloon.
We got a balloon the size of 3 buses.
I know. We'll have to find out. I'm gonna have to now. We'll have to wait until see what the footage is, or whatever they have on there. I'm curious, just to see what they put,
what kind of stuff was in that balloon.
Yeah, but it's like, why would they do that? But whatever. But going back to TNA, and then fast forward, how TNA was just like, and then they did like house shows. Like TNA did a lot of house shows over the years, like Rawway at the Jersey All Pro Arena,
Yeah.
Like the Asbury Park Convention Hall. They would just bring it everywhere.
Did they do Richfield Park too? I mean, everybody does Richfield now.
No, never did. TNA never did that.
Oh, Steve Off couldn't get that money.
No, Steve Off couldn't get that money, or Zandig. No, yeah.
Because nowadays every other 2 weeks, and there's a new company debuting in Richfield Park.
I know, and yeah, it's just amazing. Richfield's.
I mean, everybody's finding themselves these days.
But they need to come to XPW in Newark. It's a place to be to watch them. It is.
XPW is on a comeback, and we're kicking ass. And we're gonna take some names.
Mm-hmm. But as we were saying, TNA, like, what other shows? I was gonna say like a free ticket. I actually had the experience at Game Changer Wrestling, right? A fan came, they were doing WWE was doing Sunday Night Stunner, right? On a Sunday, they were doing that show. So some lady in the lobby, I was walking around trying to find tickets myself, I wanted to go see that WWE show. And this lady's like, hey, can I use your phone charger? I said, are you looking for a ticket? Yes, I am. Well, I have a ticket right here on my phone. I'm going to send you it. No kidding. I was sitting in the back row. I got to see Sheamus again, like Ricochet, like to see all these faces again. It was like great. And then a couple of my coworkers from work were right there in front of me. I didn't even realize it. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. Isn't that cool? Like, just yeah. But to see like Rick. Like last time I saw Sheamus was like back in like 2000 and whatever at like SummerSlam. I'm like, holy cow, this is like crazy, just to see him in a street fight and just being himself, with the Usos, of course. So come on, like,
But, Sheamus is awesome. That match he had with Gunther, that was sick. Mm-hmm. That was a hoss fight. That was what we say, big, sweaty, meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah, actually, it was Gunther versus Ricochet. Actually, it was the match that I got to see, which I didn't even, So because Ricochet is one of those guys that's been around, on the scene for years and years.
He's awesome.
He is. But to see a different style, now, but WWE's changed over the years. So I'm like, wow, man, it's not like these house shows we've seen as kids, and you get that special time on the mic, or like a Howard Finkel moment, or just like live and somebody that shows up and you're like, holy shit, it's like awesome.
Oh yeah,
it is. But what other pay-per-views or show? Did you ever go to any pay-per-views?
Yeah, I've been to. I remember when WWE had SummerSlam in DC, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels. A few of the backlashes. Of course, WCW did a few. They had a lot of their last few Starrcades in DC. I say the most recent. Well, most of the stuff that pay-per-view wise I've been to recently was mostly indie stuff, Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Ring of Honor, man. I love Ring of Honor. I would go up to the Hammerstein Ballroom and just in New York City, take that bus ride and just go. I caught a lot of the good era of the Briscoes to the Kevin Steen, and of course Necro, of course. Shout out to him, his partner. God rest rest in peace, Brody Lee. Just to
Oh yeah.
just to be a part, to see his career and who he was as a wrestler. It was amazing. His career was phenomenal.
Well, it
And
was like, their last few years, they would mostly hold like some of their big events at in Baltimore area in UBC. So that was just, awesome to get up and see those. And they were just amazing shows. And I remember they did the free show there. That was awesome.
Yeah. I also remember like my local in Toms River, New Jersey, one year they actually held the ECW house extreme shows. Like, they did the Extreme, WWE Extreme came around. Big Show was there, and CM Punk was there, and Dreamer was there, or whoever else, Sandman. I'm outside having a cigarette with the Sandman. I'm like, just, like normal Sandman, how he used to, because he just talks to fans and just shoots the shit or pours.
Oh, that first year, the ECW WWE house shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have loved to go and see those.
Those were the great times. But Ring of Honor, man, I like I said, I got to see CM Punk's last match, like before signing his contract with Austin Aries, the Death Before Dishonor. So I went to Edison. Edison was pretty known for the Ring of Honor, I'll tell you that. But but I never been to that little place that they used to hold it. The original building that they would always go to up in
that high school.
Yeah. It was always awesome. But speaking of, so what was your favorite WWE moment, if we could go back in time? If we
most
could go back
recently,
yeah,
I would say most recently it was the whole Brian Danielson. I was extreme. I mean, I was a huge fan of him. Like once I saw him on the Air of Honor, I was like, who's this guy? And just really started following him. And he became one of my favorite wrestlers, and I just was like, man, WWE sign him. That'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. And then eventually he did sign, the whole Nexus, and then released and then came back and, was there for a while, and then Team Hell No. And I was just, I was really locked in. I was like, they became my favorite wrestler in a new modern era.
Yeah, that's like him and Punk or John Moxley, were just like the guys who really stood out to the crowd, people that really, and Darby Allin. People don't know who Darby Allin is. Fantastic wrestler. Like, he's an independent. Started out, which is pretty rad, and he skates. Come on, like that's
well, it's also weird. I mean, if you think about like a lot of these guys, even in hindsight of what they've done, it's like Austin. It's like Austin Theory. People, what he's doing now is technically he's almost what he's been doing all his career, even back in WWN when he was with Evolve and WWN. It was almost the same type deal.
Yeah,
but now you get to see it on a much bigger level.
And then now we have AEW where they're being showcased more and more, and and yep, still there.
Yeah, it's like you even with even WWE, AEW, but it's like a lot of these guys. Like, think of Moxley. If you think about his presentation in CZW, he was the top guy.
Yeah,
when when he went to Evolve, top guy. Austin Theory, top guy. A lot of these guys, you seeing them now on a bigger stage, but they're just now being able to do what they did on a smaller stage in front of national TV audiences.
Yeah, and then seeing people that you've seen before, Samoa Joe, shout out to him, man. Like, people just still going strong, after all these years. Jay Lethal still going strong. Like, come on, guys that are just like that need to be, who put the forefront on the independent scene. You think about it,
and carry companies from a smaller level to bigger levels, and show that they, are top tier talents.
And that's like me, like as a fan of wrestling. Back in the '90s, wrestling was popular, man. Like Toms River, New Jersey, actually held a company. It was called Phoenix Championship Wrestling, and they would bring the top independent stars: Samoa Joe, AJ, just all the good SAT to top-notch talent that were like showcased on TV all the time. Like you'd be like, wow. You're blown away.
How the hell did New Jersey somehow cock up the DILF?
Who is that guy? Who the hell is that guy? He's some little clown on a pedestal. He needs to be hung.
Hey, it is what it is. And, the DILF boy Daltano. Everyone likes to talk about booking shows and not paying money.
Yeah, and look what he's doing. He's doing a celebrity boxing. Come on, he's gonna get.
I saw that. Like, are you serious? I mean, is his court bills that high that he got to do celebrity boxing?
Oh man, well, that guy's just gonna give him a TKO, and that'll be good.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he just knocks him out.
Yeah. Or Kurt, or his Inspector Gadget friend there, whatever his name is.
Kid Toucher Kurt.
Yes, Kid Toucher Kurt. Yes. Yes.
The gypsy.
The gypsy. The gypsy strikes again, right? Yeah, he's a strange character. He really is.
Yeah, you gotta be. How do you show up to a show that nobody wants you at, barely help out, and then getting your gimmicks right before the show starts to hang out in the corner?
And start a fight with another wrestler or somebody that's in a bit. Yeah, come on. But whatever. If he's at a next XPW show, I'd love to give him. I'd love to show what he like to this. but sorry, no, I can't do that. I don't want to get.
No, we can't do that.
No.
It's not worth getting kicked out over them.
No. Because we got better people to watch. Better people to watch instead of those clowns. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about what tomorrow night, man. You got to wrestling. You're going to be wrestling or during the day, man.
Well, okay, so we have the Baltimore Slep Fest, which runs from 9 to 4 here in Carroll County, Westminster. And then at 5 o'clock, Adrenaline Championship Wrestling. We open our doors.
Yeah.
And we've got our Chaos in Carroll County event featuring Diamond Dallas Page, ACW champion Big Ben Bishop, James Ellsworth, The Blackout, Ruckus and Robbie, the Postman Van Williams, Riot City, Nick Sickend, and Ron Holiday, and it's going to be a very good time.
And some guy right here is going to be wrestling,
Oh yes, I will be taking on the Postman Van Williams, the 2022 King of Maryland. I'm going to dog walk him, but hey, if you want to see it in person, come on out. This is going to be an ass whooping, and if you ever have the chance to see me wrestle, come on out. It's going to be a treat.
It really is. Yes, but also, Slep Fest, you're going to be there. You're going to be one of the XPW. You're going to be representing XPW in the building as well.
Yes, I will be there with Chapman at the XPW table. So if you want to come out and get learn about XPW and see what we got to offer, we can definitely tell you about the stuff. Chad can definitely let you know about the shows that's coming up and just everything that was going on with XPW.
It's gonna be a fun time. That's gonna be fun. I wish I was there. Chad, throw me in your car really quick. Come on, you're not that far from Atlantic City, not far from AC from Tom's River, Brick Township. Come on, right next door. Come on,
just right down the street.
Just right down the street. Pick me up on Parkway. What the hell? Yeah, but it's like we said, man, you're going out and you're doing your thing in the ring every week, and it's a great, just see what you do, for independent wrestling, what it is today. You're out there to show who you are, and you're Mr. Fantastic, the one and only. Come on.
Well, that trying to build that legacy and build that name and just do what I've always wanted to do.
And to get to be on this is a platform. This is a stage. This is it is the stage. It is, and the first time you walk through that curtain, it was like, okay, are these? You're like probably thinking to myself, are these fans gonna like me? Are they gonna love me or hate me? You know, and it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. But you got the pop that you needed, and you were loved. You know, it was just you felt the love of the fans. You know, as we love you. You know, because you're part of us. You know,
Yes.
which is you know.
No, I think y'all just love the body. That's what it is. I love the body, and I just came out to help him, and so y'all just kind of gave me a little love, but y'all was there for the body.
I was actually going on Amazon. I'm thinking about ordering some big flag, like those flags. I'm thinking the body. Maybe I'll get. But I wonder if I could do a collab one, like put both of you on it. Would that be awesome? Like as I'm looking on Amazon, they're dirt cheap. Yeah.
Hey, definitely go right on ahead.
I think that
I saw somewhere where someone was like, "We got to see Body and Fantastic versus Angel and Crack."
Yes, it's coming. Just stay tuned, fans. I think it's gonna. That needs to happen in Newark, not in California. Newark.
No, no, definitely Newark.
Yeah, Newark has that.
You know what? Matter of fact, it doesn't matter if it happens in Newark or California.
You're right. Yeah.
Something like that is going to be very entertaining and must see.
Mm-hmm. But man, but the body has a big opponent coming up in February as well. So he's facing
Big Joe. Big Joe. Don't know how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm. I know. That's your partners. So he's going into war with him, but it's going to be a good one. It'll
be very. I mean, he's gonna do what he does best. But like I said, I don't know how I feel about that one. Can't let my boy go out there and get hurt like that.
No, I wish I was there for the extreme contest. They're bringing a.
Oh yes, the Miss Extreme. I mean, it's gonna be a classic. TNA.
They just brought back. I think I just saw the advertisement. J Love, an original. Come on, J Love, an original XPW original.
Oh yes,
that's pretty good to bring. I was ready to clip up some. I found the video of her, so I'm going to work on something and put it up there too. Yeah. But yeah, but the rest of the card is solid. It's solid as usual, and it's going to be a good show, and everybody better get their tickets for it or order it.
I mean, we've got the return of the faces of Death, Masada and Schlack, Crow, and whoever. Lindsay Snow versus Chelsea Durden, Body versus Big Joe. I'm sure Lou Dark is going to defend her women's title. Yeah, it's going to be a show that Drake Younger and Big Lou. Oh, that's going to be a fight. That is going to be a fight.
That's I know, because I was watching some of that guy's Big Lou stuff. My God, he's an MMA man. He's been around. He can go with the best.
He's a fighter.
He's a fighter, and I've seen some stuff of him and Big Joe going at it. Whew, my God, those two guys have faced each other, and he's one of those guys that people are going to be like, holy, we're going to be glued to our seats and watching watching that one.
Yeah, I want to see how that goes through. I want to see that. Definitely want to see that, in person. But if not, I definitely will be tuned in on Fight Network.
But because I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing a lot more of Big Lou as well, coming down the pipe, down to the. I just think
you say I'm going to be seeing. Did you say I'm going to be seeing more Big Lou?
We're gonna we're gonna all get the Big Lou.
Probably. I mean, hey, stick around me next time long. I'm gonna have to see some of these guys.
Yeah, I know. You'll have to step in there one day and be like, "Oh shit, what did I get
myself?" How did I end up here? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Give me Hoovy. Yeah. Give me Hoovy. Give me Enzo.
Give you Enzo. My God, that would talk about a match. That was a good promo that really stood out. Really.
Oh, they tore it up.
That was classic, Enzo and Hoovy stuff. People don't realize, I'm like, wait a minute. I really never watched Enzo as much, but I've seen his stuff. Hoovy, yes. From watching him wrestle in the past, and all his matches in WCW and EC and everywhere he's been. But yeah, that was a good match to see them both in the ring. I like to see
they tore it up too.
They did, and I would like to see the Juice face somebody else. We need to see who do you think he could go? Like, who do you think is the next guy that he could face? Right
this guy.
That guy.
I would love to face the Juice.
Mm-hmm.
I would maybe I know Psychosis used to work XPW years back ago. It'd be nice to see him and Psychosis tear it up, or know, him in the Body.
Body, Juice, Body, Juice,
Body Juice.
But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. I'm sure he's going to be there as well, and I'm sure he'll be there, of course. In the crowd or something, doing his thing. The Juice,
of course.
But it's just going to be a great night of wrestling, man. Like, as you are going to have a great night tomorrow night as well. It's just going to be a great week. Wrestling is ready. We're ready again. XPW is here. XPW is.
Yep. Pleasures of the Fest. I can't wait to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we return for Revenge Comes.
Revenge. I know. The revenge is coming. I just can't wait for it. Like, fans better get your tickets because they are going hot. They're selling I think we're already front row's almost gone. Like, that's good. That is good.
Oh, yes.
And if you see me front row standing again, I got my same spot by the curtain. So I think I found my spot. I was like, you know what? I always sit in the middle of the rows, and if somebody has to get up, you got to get up, move. Excuse me. So I could just go wherever I want to go.
Right by the curtain. Or if you're at the Hard Ballroom, you always got the beautiful balcony area.
Yes, those seats are the hot seats too, fans. Get those because they're running out fast as well. But general admission, get them at the door. I got some friends coming, so they're coming all the way from Poughkeepsie, New York. They're gonna pick my ass up.
Poughkeepsie.
Yes.
What the hell? Oh my God! What the hell's in? Last time I was in Poughkeepsie, that was crazy time. No,
they used to come all the SWF or standalone wrestling. They used to come to a lot of shows.
They came down to the Superstars of Wrestling Foundation, brother.
Yeah, they're furious, brother. But I know. But whatever. Now,
hey, they were going to Mega Slam.
Mm-hmm.
And we all go, we all know we're going to Mega Slam.
Yeah. But we know where we'll be on March 25th. So what else do you got going on besides March 25th?
Just recently, this past weekend, I did the Brad Cash birthday bash down in Tennessee.
I was going to say, how was that event?
Oh, that was oh man. I don't know how much
you could go. Yeah.
Oh man. So it was a great show. It was a fun show. All I know is just that me and the Hardcore Hillbilly kind of got stuck later that evening.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
And I had to drive. But let's put it like this. We made it. We're alive.
I think there's a new segment coming out. Road trips with Mr. Fantastic and Hillbilly.
That's what I said. Like, I might have to start recording some of this stuff because it's hilarious.
Just throw the camera on the dashboard like everybody does,
Yep. We're walking through Dollar General and I'm complaining like, aren't you a daggone Dollar General manager?
Yes. It's crazy. Like, I remember I actually stocked shelves and Balls Mahoney was a local. So, I didn't even know what ECW was really until I met him. I got it autographed in my store. I was like, all right, because next door was Big and Tall.
Oh,
Big and Tall selling, the Big and Tall store, clothing store. And I had a friend who was working there, and Public Enemy would go in there and get their clothes.
Really?
Like, yeah. How crazy is that? Like, just to think, like, you never know who is in town just to buy their clothes.
Public Enemy, the tag team.
Yes. Yeah, man, I missed that tag team. That was a good tag team. They really, they were the innovator. If the Dudleys were tables wise, they were the innovators also. But really,
oh yeah, when it was at the flip the flip splash through the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. I'm dying now.
Hey man, I don't know what's going on. Everybody seems to have like an upper respiratory infection right now. Coughing up the mucus and everything. It's horrible.
It's the weather. It's the weather. It's cold weather that we got coming,
I hate it. Yeah. Just coughing up phlegm and everything. It's just horrible.
I know. I think I'm gonna go get a cold beer in a minute. It sounds like a plan.
Or a hot toddy.
Hot toddy. Or another Starbucks. I'm a Starbucks addict. So what are you gonna do,
Yeah. You never go wrong with good coffee beans.
No, any kind of bean. But movie wise, have you watched anything good lately? Have you?
Are you Wakanda Forever?
Huh? Any?
Yeah, I just actually saw Wakanda Forever on Disney Plus. Great movie. I love how they kind of tied in some of the comic stuff to it. But other than that,
there's nothing really. Yeah, I know. There's no good movies like it. I just recently threw on old episodes of Cops, or not RoboCop. I was just watching RoboCop I love bringing back the nostalgia, watching the old stuff. So I just got done watching part 3. Now I think I'm gonna watch some Terminator. I just don't know why. The old stuff is more fun. What? Let me ask you this: what? Any TV shows you're watching right now? I don't even watch TV as much.
Well, that's weird. Yeah, you're right. I know. I'm
series, TV series or whatever.
Not a big TV show person. I kind of watch old TV shows. I'm like huge on like ID channel. Like I'm like one of the type of people like if there's like one of those true crime dramas, I'm gonna watch it. And I hate to watch it when I fall asleep because then I end up waking up and can't go back to sleep because I got to see how this shit ends.
Yes. Yeah. I hear you. It's like watching an old episode of Saturday Night Live or Seinfeld or, just all these, just whatever catches your eye, Cartoon wise, as television shows, what caught your
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Yep.
Bob's Burger.
Love Bob's Burger. Oh, I mean, even like some of the little off-brand ones, like Disenfranchised on Netflix, as well as like Forget About It, Archer.
Wow, that's great. All the good stuff.
Oh,
music wise, what's on your playlist these days? What's on your what's going? What's
very, very? I'm actually very eclectic. I mean, I'm from DC, so I do love go-go music through and through. But I like I'm late to the party. I just found out about Bullets for My Valentine, Linkin Park, Migos. I'm very eclectic.
Just a good genre of music.
I mean, I just like good music. Yeah. If it's got a beat and a sound that I can go with, I'll go with it. It doesn't matter if it's rock, country, rap, whatever.
Yeah. Just to listen to something as you're pumping iron. That's the gym. Well, Mr. Fantastic, what do you say we close this out? That's it.
This has been an awesome interview. It's been great to thank you having me on.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna bring you on. Maybe I'll bring my friend from Florida. He likes to come on podcasts just to shoot the shit. He'll tell you some stuff. He's like great with storytelling. Like he can tell some stuff.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We'll collab that after March. How's that? We'll do our.
Well, we'll definitely do it again after March. And like I said, we've got some really interesting stuff that's going to be going down at XPW. So I hope everyone is watching. Stay tuned. We've got some good stuff, and then as well.
Yeah. Follow
and as well, like I said, if you're in the Washington D.C. area tomorrow, we do have Celeb Fest in Westminster, Maryland. Conventions from 9 to 4. ACWs it starts at doors open at 5.
That's awesome. Mr. Fantastic. See you in a ring anytime. See you soon. How's that? Pretty time.
Yes, you will.
See you soon. Thank you for coming on. And have a good night, everybody. What do I have coming up? Nothing. I'm just going to take a week off because I think February 14th is my birthday. I'm just going to relax. I have the week off. I got a nice week off of work. I'm just going to take it easy. A little vacation. Do nothing.
Enjoy and then watch Pleasures of Our Flesh live from California.
And also, before that, well, maybe on my birthday, I'll be listening to the Rob. Everybody should tune into the Rob Black on the 14th of February. I'll be listening.
It's almost every night. Turn into the Rob Black Show on speaker, iPhone podcast.
iTunes.
You got to trust me. Trust me. Follow it because heck, I find out stuff through that.
Yes, you do, and you got to go back and listen to the last episode. You need to listen to it at the gym. You got to listen to the gym. That was really good, but by the hardcore hillbilly himself, and you never know when Schlock or anybody will pop on it. Maybe you'll call it one day. Who knows?
Oh yes, I'll definitely be on there one day.
I know.
I've got to answer to some of these allegations.
Yes. But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say thank you for coming on, and I'll see you soon, everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good night.
Mm-hmm. Let me get out of this stupid stuff. All right. All right, fans, you heard it here from Mr. Fantastic. He's got a lot coming up tomorrow night in Baltimore Fest and ACW, Adrenaline Wrestling, Championship Wrestling in Baltimore, Maryland. Go to Baltimore. Check it out. XPW will be having a booth there at the Fan Fest. Go stop by, get your official XPW merchandise and tickets to their next upcoming shows as well. I don't know if you could still buy a ticket for California, I'm sure, for Pleasures of the Flesh, and also get tickets for Newark, New Jersey for March 25th as we present oh boy, I gotta get going in this. Here Comes the Revenge. And fans, we got huge news coming. Lots of stuff coming up on the XPW and so much more. But fans, I want to say thank you for listening to the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast. As always, we talk wrestling, support wrestling, Deathmatch Wrestling, the works. Stay tuned. You never know who will show up on the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy your weekends. Till next time.
You can find more Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on the following. Just hit the like button and share. You can hear the audio portion of Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes. Social media, Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on Facebook, Twitter at DavidNJ32, Instagram, DavidNJ36, YouTube, David C. Russell, and DeathmatchWrestlePodcast.com. Joners Wrestling Podcast Network. Head over to WrestlingWithJoners.com. Follow them on Facebook, Joners Wrestling Podcast Network. Twitter at with Joners _pod. I want to mention Collar and Elbow. collarandelbowbrand.com. Use the promo code Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast.
Be sure to visit brainbustertees.com for Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast merchandise.